Hello everybody, it's June the 21st, 2013, summer solstice, the longest day of the year. And I thought it would be a nice day to do a video with Metatron's energy. And in particular, we're going to do a final roundup and conclusion of some of the work that we've been looking at with regard to our shadow side. And summer solstice day seems a perfect day to do that on, because there are many other subjects that I'd like to talk about with regard to Metatron's energy. So for the time being, this is going to be the last in the series of the ones where we're looking at shadow, but I'm sure there will be more to come in the future. So first thing to say is that I'm back from Norway. I went off for a Colour Mirrors conference and talked about Archangel Metatron there. Went very well, had really enjoyed meeting new people, particularly from countries that I hadn't met them from before. And one nice thing that happened was the day of the talk, the Metatron talk, a few hours after I had been talking about Metatron's cube and basically been sharing the Metatronic energy, somebody took a photograph which is on my Facebook page, Angelic Celestial Colours, and it shows in a representation of Metatron's cube in magenta orb lights, and it is really, really stunning. It's around the sun. So that was rather nice confirmation that Metatron was with us, even though we didn't need it because we knew he was. But just really feeling his energy and his presence more and more all the time, and just really happy to spread that. Those of you that don't know my work, I have a website which is amandaellis.co.uk, where you'll find me. And as I said, my Facebook page, Angelic Celestial Colours. So for now, I would like to just tune in this day of the summer solstice, 21st of June, to Metatron and just see what he has to say to us all. I'm going to be using these colours today, which obviously seem very appropriate, don't they, for summer solstice. Bright yellows, very much the reflection of the sun's energy. This one, bottle number 1, within the Colour Mirrors range, is actually called the sun. So, and it's very much linked into our solar plexus and to us being able to connect into our I amness. And I am, of course, was the name of the voice of God. So connecting into our divinity. And I've also got Yellow Angel here as well, which again is like sunshine in a bottle. So Metatron works with all the colours of the rainbow, and even though there is a Metatron spray that I've used in the past and still do, we can use any colour really to connect into Metatron, because his language is that of colour. So we're going to be connecting in to the yellow ray today, and let's do that now. I'm just going to just heighten the energy around me, just using the tuning fork just for a moment. And as we all tune into Archangel Metatrons on this longest day, really just be thinking about maybe the year ahead and what it is that you want to achieve over this year coming up. So let's go straight into some channeling. So just spraying the yellow angel spray around me. You might like to imagine a beautiful yellow light now coming down around yourself, knowing that you're in a safe space, totally protected and grounded, feeling your feet on the floor. But just letting that yellow energy of illumination and brightness and joy just really come into your being. And Metatron very quickly is here today for us, and feels a very powerful, very powerful energy today. Very much like the sun itself, of course, and the sun is something which we can't do without. We die if the sun dies, and really Metatron just reminding us of the respect that we need to pay the sun. And of course ancient cultures and some cultures still do celebrate the sun. I'm reminded here of a lady that I met in Norway Kirsten, who is part of the indigenous Sami tribe, and she was very generous in sharing some of her culture with us. And one of the things she was talking about was the way that they celebrate the arrival of the sun from a period of maybe sometimes many months of darkness. So there are still cultures within our world that really still celebrate the sun in this way. Certainly in Western society, it seems to be that the modern media want to put those of us that worship the sun in that way or celebrate the sun into sort of fringe groups. And Metatron is saying that more and more of us are going to start respecting the cycles of nature and getting in tune with nature and being in touch with the sun and the moon, which are the two planets that we need to survive on this earth. The sun bringing forth the warmth and the light, and the moon, of course, reflecting the conditions of water on our planet, and the seas and the rivers, and controlling that. And without the water and without the light, we perish. So really on today, just wanting to celebrate that as well. Tuning in now to what he's saying with regard to the next instalment, as it were, in the work we've been doing with our shadow side. He's reminding me of something that happened in Norway, which was we made a clear distinction in terms of wanting to replace the words that we've been using. I've been using the words dark and light to describe the shadow aspects of who we are. And really, a much better way to describe it going forward is to talk about lightness and heaviness. And I think that is a more manageable way for us to think about our shadow aspects of ourselves, thinking about them in terms of energy, and that they are heavy compared to the lighter aspects of who we are. I think by using the word dark, we can maybe bring in other aspects which are very, very negative, which aren't necessarily within our aura, within who we are as a person. So I'd like you now to start using, he's reminding us to start using that language instead, to start talking about the lightness and the heaviness within ourselves. So really, anything about yourself that, as we've talked about before in previous videos, that you feel drags down your energy, stops you from being who you really want to be in this lifetime, depletes you in any way, is toxic in some way. Think about it in terms of a heaviness that really we need to cast off. And it feels as though Metatron is saying so clearly today that we have this perfect example of June the 21st, which is summer solstice. And I'm just going to actually speak with his words because I know there's something coming through here. Summer solstice, the longest day, the time when we have the greatest amount of light on our planet. And then we go into months ahead where the days start to shorten and become darker. And in a way, it's this pattern of the sun and light, which is a part of nature, and it's a natural cycle that happens every single year, which is the days become longer and brighter, and then at this time of year we turn the corner and they start to become shorter and darker again. And in a way, it's a reflection of those aspects within ourselves, because we have both the light and what we're calling now the heaviness within ourselves. And we need to really make peace with both, because both are of equal value and both actually encompass and make up who we are as a person, very much like nature reflects this to us as well. So on today, it feels appropriate just to really be thinking about the year ahead. And we have today the maximum amount of light this year that is available to us in terms of hours. And we should be making use of it. So the need to actually, if you can, get out in nature today even if it's only for a short period of time. But if you can, get down into nature, go for a walk in the park, go for a walk by the sea, go for a walk in the countryside. Those of you that are working, he's saying after work, do something where you're actually out in this daylight to really bring in that sense of gratitude for the light that we have around us at all times. So the need to be outside today is very important to honour this cycle of nature, but also to start wishing in, and we have of course a supermoon on the 23rd of this month, which is only 2 days away, and we're really in the twilight of that now, and we should really be thinking and trying to manifest in what we want to happen over the next year, as well as letting go of anything that is holding us back. So in a way, this is a perfect time to look at some of the heavier aspects of our life that might be draining us, acknowledge them for what they are. If they need to be let go of, in terms of maybe it's a pattern of behaviour, a person, a job, a situation, and it's in your control to let go of, then let it go. If it's not, then somehow you need to be making peace with it, so that actually it doesn't diminish your light, and you can go into the next year, and I'm talking about nature's year really here, with renewed enthusiasm and freshness and the ability to manifest what you want. It feels as though the next 3 days are very, very critical days for us, and they're very powerful days. We've got the power of the sun behind us, we've got this increased levels of light, and our body responds to that light because our cells in our body, if you look at them under a microscope or get it down to minute particles, are actually made up of light. So we are light. So use this light that is available to us in the next few days to replenish our bodies, to recharge our batteries, and that's why Metatron is saying it's very important to actually get out there in the light as well. But also to think about, yes, what we want to be bringing in over the next year, and really just using this example that nature has at solstice time and the whole cycle of nature, which is about light days and dark days, and each of them having relevance, and really just taking that in and absorbing that into our body, and realizing that even things that maybe we don't particularly like about ourselves or that drag us down, the shadow aspects that we've been looking at, just try to integrate them and accept them as part of you, but don't let them control you going forward. That is the main point. Don't let them control you. You have a choice between what do you let control you, the light or the heavier aspects of who you are. When I was in Norway, there was another lady there from Denmark who's another colour mirrors practitioner, Lena. And sorry, Lena, I can't remember the second name, but anyway, she showed us a very good method of healing using role play. And somebody was picked out of the audience, and her particular problem was looked at. And one person played the role of fear. And we can all relate to that because we all have fear in our life in some way. But this particular person, there were about 5 or 6 of us that were chosen for all the different roles and representations of this particular problem. But one person represented fear. And it was very powerful what was done, because really what happened, as everybody started talking and role-playing out this particular problem and getting a higher perspective on it, we started to actually look at what fear looked like, and really all it wanted to do was to be embraced and acknowledged as part of who this particular person was and who we all are, because fear is actually something that is important to us. It's part of our survival instinct. It goes back to days when we were cavemen, and we had real survival issues that needed to be addressed. And so fear is something that is a warning bell sometimes. It's just when it gets out of balance and it starts to control us, that's when it's a problem. But it was very lovely in this role play. The person that played fear was ultimately sort of drawn in and held by all the other people in the group. And it was just visually very, very powerful. It really, really had an effect on me. So also the yellows and the golds, these lovely colours that I showed you at the start, these are the perfect colours to really be helping you with issues in terms of self-confidence and going for your dreams, going for whatever it is that you're meant to be doing, want to be doing, are passionate about in this lifetime. And you can only do that by not letting the shadow aspect of who you are control you. So I'm going to pull one of our colour cards now, just to see if there's any other message that's coming through today for us. No. Okay. Well, sort of confirmation of what I've been using actually, because we've got the Yellow Angel card. And of course the Yellow Angel is also about, yellow is a colour that relates to our intellect and our mental mind as well. And Metatron is reminding us, of course, that when we're going to put plans into action, we need to use both our spiritual selves, following our heart, following our intuition, following guidance from the higher realms, but also we need to use our minds. We need to actually prioritise and organise ourselves so that we can get the job done, we can get the new plan in place. And Metatron as an energy is very good at helping us to prioritise and to get our affairs in order. So I jokingly in workshops in the past have referred to him, and he doesn't mind it, as a spiritual PA, spiritual personal assistant, because he's very good at just rearranging aspects of our life so we do concentrate on what is important. And if you've got any new plan, any new initiative that is bubbling up this summer solstice, call his energy in and he will help you with that. So I'm going to finish just by spraying clear diamond, which is a white essence linked to Metatron, and just have a final message this summer solstice for you. See what he's got to say. I'm just being shown beautiful ribbons of light in multicolours that are coming into the earth today and over the next few days. There are some very heightened, beautiful healing energies around, more so than normal. You need to get out in it. You need to get out in nature. It's what I said before. He's just shown me this beautiful healing energy that is out there in nature right now. So without any further ado, I'm going to leave it there and just encourage you to do exactly that. Get out in nature, get out in the light, and celebrate the aspects of yourself that are about lightness, and the heavier aspects, don't let them rule you over the coming year. I'm sure we will return to this subject at some point, but there are other videos that I'd like to make now going forward, and I've got a number of ideas up my sleeve, so I'm not going to say now, but stay tuned, as they say, and thank you very much for watching. Summer blessings to all of you. Bye for now.